right, guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Four Dads Podcast. We wanted to do something special here this episode and really just kind of deep dive into how do you like how do you prep for golf? All right, I got a question for you, Teeds. Like you
Go
and
for it.
I,
Go for it.
you and I, I play significantly a lot more golf than what you have recently, but when
Hmm.
you go out, I mean, you're all about you know nice courses, great attire, right?
Yep.
Get every look good, feel good, play good, right?
100%.
And
Yep.
and ultimately the goal is to go low.
Yep.
How do you prep knowing that you're gonna play, let's just say we're gonna go play with Patty Shea over at Carmel Valley Ranch. How would you prep for something like that?
Well, that would be freaking sweet. Whenever that ends up going off, I can't wait. I'm actually bringing up my notes right now. I know uh, I have some notes on what I prepare for. So, not on what to prepare for, but things not to forget, when you're on your
Yeah,
round. So when I go golfing, especially since I've been maybe able to go like once a month or like twice a month. So I have a lot of time in between. Like when I know when I'm going to go, I like, okay, this is the course. This is what I'm doing. Um, Always checking the weather. I mean, obviously that's like the main thing.
yeah,
And especially with being limited, like there's no more anxiousness, no more anxiety that I can get just from watching the weather. Like this week, it said I'm playing on Saturday. It said last Saturday that this Saturday was supposed to rain with like 50% chance of rain all week. Sunday comes around, it says no rain all week. And I was like, okay. So, and the weather started like 85 degrees on Saturday. Now it's supposed to be
yeah,
68. And I'm like, okay, what's going on there? So it's been just like constantly dropping. And I don't understand the weatherman. It's the 21st century. How are we not understanding this? But
yeah,
so I definitely always check the weather. If it's a course that I'm not used to, I definitely try and find a scorecard, try and find the layout. I know some of the courses, especially a nice course, they'll have like either like a flyby, virtual flyby, or like the
yeah,
actual layout of a 3D. So I kind of gauge like what kind of where I might be playing at. Am I going to play whites, blues, tips, depending on who I'm with? What clubs I may be prepared to kind of quicken the roundup as much as possible, so I don't have to like take a lot of time. And then obviously my outfits. Like, dude, like I think I have every single color of the rainbow, like more than the color of the rainbow, and it's set up in my closet, like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, all the colors. And so like I'm dabbling, thinking, what haven't I worn? I try not to be an alpha repeater as much as I can, but
yeah,
I'm sure with you it's difficult because you play so much to not repeat a few outfits here or there. But I
yeah.
mean,
I'll get into that. I'll get into
right,
that. But go
right.
ahead,
So
go ahead.
so I'm definitely planning on that. And also the weather definitely, in my opinion, indicates what I'm going to wear. So
Yeah,
because I don't have the same shorts that I do pants, I'm limited more on pants than I am on shorts. So, when it comes to that, I think for me, if it's like low 70s, I kind of prefer pants because I want to be warmer. I want to
yeah,
like build a little bit of like a sweat so I can hit it farther and not really be cold. And I think I did that when we played at Rancho Solano. I think it was like mid 70s, but
yeah.
like
This is
you're like
nice.
you're
It's
you're
perfect.
like, dude, you're gonna be sweating. I'm like, that's what I want. I want to be a little warm, so
Yeah,
like I'm hitting and I'm not feeling too like tight.
yeah,
And also if it's in like the 60s or 50s, I'll wear leggings underneath my pants, and that will also allow me to stay warm but play with the t-shirt on instead of playing with an actual top, which I feel much more what's the term, contra like constricted. I feel more constricted, like with a
gotcha. Yeah,
second
yeah,
layer.
yeah.
So I definitely put a ton of thought into this,
Totally,
as you can
totally.
think about it.
Ladies and
Plus,
gentlemen, Teeds is an
oh man,
absolute fashionista when it
oh
comes
man,
to his golf course.
completely, and
Completely.
then so that's not even including the things that I have for my golf round that I make sure that everything's ready to go. I like to record my swing on my GoPro, so I make sure all the batteries are getting charged. I make sure my golf watch is getting charged the day before. Also, make sure that the golf glove that I have in my bag doesn't have a hole in it or anything like that. I have ones that I can rotate out. I think I have like 4 Kirkland gloves that I've been rotating out on the range,
Okay.
and then gamer
I want
gloves.
to hold on. I want to interrupt you there for a second. If no, no, seriously, like I understand Kirkland gloves are like they're great. They're a good deal, but come summertime, they fall apart.
Hmm.
Dude, if you want a good summer glove, get either the FootJoy. I think it's called like a dry, like it's like a dry tack glove.
No, maybe like dry
Yeah,
soft
dry
or
soft
stay
or something.
soft.
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but it's got like a mesh. It's got like a Cabretta mesh leather top.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
nice. Like I find them all the time when I go to Arizona. They're great.
Okay.
I buy a whole bunch of them. But you should also look into cutters. Um,
Cutters, okay.
or the Travis Matthew. I think it's pronounced cutters.
Okay.
The cutter gloves, like they have like a cool thing that says like birdies on the middle finger, like mark me down for a double, like on the palm it says please place money here. Like they have some cool stuff, but those ones, I have had the one that I bought in Mexico. When I got it in Mexico, like it was hot, like it was
Mhm,
hot when
mhm.
we played because it was July, it was my birthday.
Yeah.
That thing is still lasting me with no tears, no tears.
Dang.
And I mean, I'm a big dude, so like if it's
Mhm.
hot, I'm sweating.
Right,
But
right, right.
definitely ones that I would say if you're gonna invest some money into some gloves, get those.
Well, I
But
mean, like
continue.
for me, I have a range pair of gloves and a gamer set of gloves. Ones that I only wear for the rounds, and the only ones that I use for practice is Kirkland. And Kirkland, you get like four for like $30.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, and they usually have lasted a long time. And I haven't played too much where I can tell the difference of a glove really because I haven't played too much of that, like the feel, which I'm
yeah.
sure the more you play, you will. But I obviously make sure the gloves good, watches charge, GoPros charge, make sure I have golf balls. I've been to a round and I'm like, crap, I only have golf ball, like one or two regular golf balls that, yeah, right, one or two golf balls that's like good to go and not like used ones that I keep in my pocket just in case I need to like throw on a random one.
Yeah.
So I always make sure I got golf balls, and then I'm a big snack guy. I have water, a snack, whether it's a Cliff Bar, whether it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, things like that. Make sure that's good. I'm getting old, so I have a leave as well for my wrists. It's freaking
Oh boy.
terrible. Yeah, it's terrible.
All right. So
And so that's
with
it.
that,
That's the end of the list. That's the end of the list. But go on.
well, no. So I was gonna say, with that, not all of us are lucky enough to have an amazing wife like yours, who not books, but who packs us a lunch and
Dude,
writes
that's
a
me.
note.
That's me. That's me. I do it all. I do it all. I make sure all the food's good, the drink's good, especially if it's in the summer and in Fresno. I
Yeah.
try to make sure I got like 3 or 4 water bottles at
Oh, for
least,
sure,
and
dude.
and full of ice.
So so uh so uh so for me, going to like the prep, right? Like
Hmm.
I usually will either go to YouTube, look at the name of the course, because someone has probably done a video out there. If it's a course I haven't played,
Right, right, right,
which is very unlikely, um, unless I'm playing in like another state or something. But
right.
I I love wearing shorts. Like I said, I'm already a pretty warm fella. Like would prefer shorts no matter what.
Hmm.
But I do like a good top, like a good quarter zip
Hmm.
throw over. But I kind of rotate between like four shirts. It's like my two lamb putter shirts that I have, which one is like it's a blue one. The other one has like um a drink mixer on it with like a bunch of little stuff. It's like a bluish purple. Um my Tiger Woods shirts and my two Scotty Cameron Circle t-shirts that I kind of switch between that were gifted to me. Like those are really like the only shirts that I kind of rotate through. Other than that, everything else I'm like, I got them at the course. I don't ever want to wear them again. They like looked cool for that one time. Uh, so there's that. But like I primarily will always wear the same belt, which is always like a knitted white belt. And
Hmm.
then I wear either white shorts, black shorts, or corduroy, or not corduroy, but khaki
Corduroy.
shorts. Yeah,
Whoa,
sorry,
hold
sorry,
on a
sorry.
minute.
Yeah,
Whoa,
not
that's
corduroy.
a new fashion trend gonna
Kha-
start.
khaki shorts. But yeah, that's pretty much how I always am. And then like my shoes, because I always wear G4s. I always keep them clean. Like
Hmm.
that's the one thing that I always like try and keep clean. I have been thinking about getting a pair of Jordans, but I don't want to be that guy yet. I don't want to pull those off. Like I got too much calf. I got too much calf for Jordans.
Well, yeah, and and wearing, in my opinion, wearing Jordans and shorts is just never not the best look.
No,
They
it's
look
not.
better in pants.
I would go. So like I would go with like the retro, like with the retro one lows. That's the one that I would go for. I'd go for the
Oh, okay,
retro
okay,
one lows, or
okay,
even like
okay.
or even like the ones that everyone wears on
Is it
Instagram.
the 11s, the breads? Like
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
breads, but the 11s?
yeah. The 11 lows.
Mhm.
That's the one I would go for. Like I wouldn't get the high tops. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Um,
You're not that guy, pal. You're
yeah,
not that guy.
yeah. I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not. So that's what I do. But like for the most part, like my one thing that I always get is like a gallon of water. I always get a gallon of water
Yeah.
before playing, and I do my best to at least drink half of it or the whole thing between the round.
Mhm.
So I do that. I don't really go with snacks until as of recently. Like I just pack a few protein bars.
Yeah.
If I go to the liquor store and grab the water, like I'll grab like some corn nuts, some cashews, or I don't know. Sometimes I'll just grab like just whatever snack. I just anything that seems good. Just a bag of chips sometimes.
Right, right, right.
So that's normally what I'll do. But I will say, and and please feel free to chime in on this. My go-to snack, like at the turn, or I'm gonna start off at the turn,
Mhm.
is always like if like there's a few courses that have some amazing food. Like my first choice is this course called Monarch Bay out in San Leandro, or I guess it would be Oakland. So in Oakland, they have best, the best breakfast burrito deals that you could have when it's like winter time. You get out
Hmm.
there, and if you go out and play, they give you a free breakfast, and their breakfast burritos are like huge.
Dang.
they're about like this long, but they're
Uh-huh.
thick.
Yeah, yeah.
Get it? They have like this homemade salsa. It's perfect, bro.
Well, free
Literally
is
one
me,
of the
bro.
best.
Free is me. I would hit.
Yeah.
I would definitely hit that up if it was free.
Yeah. So there's that, and then Rancho Solano has
Mhm.
probably the best club sandwich with fries um, that you can get. Like
Mhm.
the proportion size is like perfect. It's like right when you finish that front nine where there's no shade on the front nine.
Mhm.
On a hot day, it's perfect. You grab that, and then the back nine, you get all the trees, and the walk isn't as long.
Mhm.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And my last one would have to probably be like Half Moon Bay. I love Half Moon Bay's grilled chicken sandwich. Um, Fire. I mean,
Sounds good.
if it was a franchise, it could probably compete with like Chick-fil-A and KFC, and
Dang.
probably even Popeyes. It's fire, dude. It's fire.
Dang. Well, I know like when it comes to food at the turn and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of courses are making mistakes, in my opinion. I'm not a big like finger food is fine. I'm fine with eating with fingers, but like on the golf course, like you better give me some wet wipes. Or you better give me some damn hand sanitizer to go with like this messy burger or like this what hot dog or things like that. And usually they don't provide that crap. And I'm like, dude, I have a golf club in my hands at all times. I can't be swinging it with a freaking greasy
It
hands.
it it depends on where you're playing. It depends on where you're playing,
Of course, of
because
course.
I remember the time that you and I played Fig Garden, R.I.P. Like
Hmm.
we, I
Take
had
what
ordered.
spilling out for my homies.
Yeah, exactly. I had gotten food, and I remember they were really good about like, oh, here, take extra napkins. Here's like a wipe because
Mhm.
they had the wings that they would also be able to that you could order during happy hour.
Mm.
But again, like not to bash on like the Valley Golf. Valley Golf has good, but you come up to places like I mean, if you were to be here on
Right,
the
right. A
20th,
higher ender place, yeah.
well, it's not even higher end places. It's just like some of these more resort based courses. Like for an example, like Silverado, right? You and I were
Mhm,
talking about playing Silverado on the 20th,
mhm,
right? If we were to go, they got the famous burger dog, bro. Like
mm,
there's only two courses on the West Coast that have burger dogs, and that's Olympic Club and Silverado. And yeah, they give you like hand sanitizer wipes
mhm,
to eat, but also like if you go out to Yochadehi Golf Course, which is one that I really want to take you to. I
mhm.
mean,
Looks beautiful, dude.
our drives would be pretty similar. Like your drive would be about 3 hours, mine is 2 hours and 45 minutes for where I'm at. So it's pretty similar. You just got a few, you got a few more minutes. But you go out there, dude. When you walk into that place, you don't ever like if somebody sees you grabbing your or carrying your bag, they literally run over and take it from you. They're like, no, 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 sir, let me get this. Put it on the cart. They get the cart ready for you. You go check in.
Dang.
You can go into the bathroom and like there's like it's kind of weird, but like they have somebody who's in like a bathroom assistant. So like
I've
if
seen
you're
those. Yeah, those are
yeah,
more old school, but yeah, yeah.
yeah, so they have that, and then like after the round, if you want to take a shower because it gets sticky out there, you take a shower, you change your clothes, you got a nice comfortable drive home. Um,
Oh wow.
the restaurant is immaculate. I mean,
Hmm,
the
hmm.
view of the course and the way that it is just it. You just can't help but just relax.
Right, right, right.
And then they have the outside patio where you can play cornhole. They got the fire pits out there.
No
It's
dang.
great, man. And then when you finish your round, it's the best because they give you like a cold lavender face washing towel for you to like go and wipe off,
Lavender.
yeah, wipe off the sand, like wash your face. It's great, dude. Like I tip those guys super nice. I'm like, and they clean all your clubs, and then they ask you like, "Where's your car?" And you know, if you want, they'll go ahead and put them by your car if you want them to, or they'll leave them like up top, and you just they'll give you a cart ride to your car to put them in. Like
Wow.
it's amazing.
Well, I mean, like if I were to have enough time where I could maybe sit down in between the round and not like grab something to go on the turn, like what majority of people do, or grab something or call for something and pick it and get it on like the 10th hole, the 11th hole, the
Yeah,
12th hole, or whatever. Then yeah, I think that'd be a different situation where it wouldn't bother me too much. But mainly, I rarely on the course do I really grab any food that's
yeah,
served by the course. I'm like I mentioned before, I usually have a snack or two, and I go based off of how hungry I am, and I'll just grab a bite and then move on. And
yeah.
that's also because I'm cheap. But on top of that, I'm paying how much to play on this golf course. I'm not going to pay a little bit overpriced for like what everyone says, like, oh, you got to have a hot dog at the turn. It's like, no, you don't, dude.
No,
You don't. You
no, I
don't.
don't.
Like, come on, they're
Hot
so
dogs.
overrated.
Yeah, I mean, having a hot dog at the turn is like the worst thing for me. Like
Yeah.
it throws off my game. I feel
Oh
all
yeah.
bloated. Yeah, I
Yep.
hate.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
I
And
hate
I'm
it.
like, come on. I know like there's some things that are like with anything, right? There's like, oh, you got to do this
Yeah,
if you do this, right? And I'm like, okay, I'll go against the grain on that. Like, I am not a hot dog to the turn guy.
yeah, I am
I'm
definitely not.
rarely a hot dog guy in general. So like that also just doesn't sit with me.
Like I said, there's or not like I said, but there's only a few courses that I know that I will like get food at the turn, and it's because I've
Hmm.
been there enough and I've like
Right.
been like, wow, like that food's incredible. Normally, dude, I'm finding an In and Out, a Chick-fil-A, like a McDonald's maybe, or
Hmm,
even if I could, a Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'll sit down with whoever I played with or my buddy, and
hmm.
normally it's me and Tony. Me and Tony will, you know, we will go find a Chick-fil-A and just sit there and just like chat. I mean, my buddy
Right.
Josh, we always go and get either B Dubs
Hmm.
or we'll sit at the restaurant at the course and have lunch. But no, it's like there's a very few courses that I will actually be like, yep, I need to grab something at the turn. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Hmm.
Other than that though, like I yeah, I get something after, and it's it's off the premises.
Right, right, right. And so let's see here. What other things can we
What
talk about?
are
I know we had some
what
plans.
are like your all right, so what's your let's see here. What would be like for a perfect day? What would be like your perfect weather condition?
Uh Perfect weather condition. And this is something that has changed since I've moved to Fresno because it literally took like.
Feel free to go ahead and get as detailed as your
Oh,
club
I
leader.
will.
For
Oh,
sure.
I definitely will. Oh, I definitely will. Are you ready for this? No, but like before I moved to Fresno, it would have been different. But now living in Fresno for since like 2015. So like what's that going
Man,
on
it's been
3
that
years?
long already?
Yeah, about 8 years or so. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? Time flies. I would say 90 degrees, 1 to 3 mile an hour winds. I don't like wind. And that's warm enough where where it's hot, but it's not too crazy. I have shorts. I'm good, and as long as I'm driving in a golf cart as well. If I'm walking, I'd say probably 78, 80. But I don't walk ever, and so I won't play at a golf course if I have to walk. Tournaments are different, but I mean I've never been in a tournament, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'd say about 90 degrees, sunny, uh, no humidity if possible. Like just how it is in Fresno, it's very
Okay,
dry.
that's impossible. I mean, even in the heat of summer of July, like if you're playing Riverside with how much um they water that course during the days to keep it cool, dude, that humidity, you better get that baby powder ready, bro.
Well, hey,
I've
but
been
yeah,
out there
so
too many times.
yeah, but I mean, like, I would say low 90s, upper 80s would be perfect. Little wind. If I wanted a little bit cooler, second favorite would probably be like low 80s.
Yeah.
Low 80s, little wind, a little breeze. Still can play in some shorts. Um, and I think that would probably be perfect. My least favorite, rain. I literally will not play in the rain. I'm like, sorry, dude.
What?
I'm like, dude, no. I'm
I
like, I
have a
know
friend.
I'm limited on time. So like, even if I'm limited on time, I'm not taking. On my birthday this year, I always
Totally
go golfing.
understood. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I'm not golfing, dude. I'm not gonna. Even if I get a free round, I'm gonna hate my life while I'm out there, and I'm not gonna just sit there for 3-4 hours.
Okay. What
You
if it's
know,
Pebble? What if Pebble was like, "Hey, we're gonna give you a free
I
round.
saw
This
some.
Four Dads
I
podcast is incredible. We're gonna give you a free round." But then all of a sudden, there's a tropical storm coming in.
Okay, if it turns out to be what is that movie? Uh, where the guy's like, the heavier stuff comes in the next few hours.
Oh,
This is what a Caddyshack. If it was like a
yeah,
Caddyshack
Caddyshack.
situation, I don't know, man. I probably wouldn't even do
This
that.
is the light stuff. This is the light.
Right? Yeah. The heavy stuff comes out in the next few hours. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The guy's
But,
got the round of his life going.
yeah. I mean, I honestly saw something on Twitter today on our Four Dads Twitter, and someone was asking like, what would you do if like you go to like Bandon Dunes, you're flying to this place, and it's just like 36
Okay, hold on,
degrees and
hold
like
on, hold on.
rain.
Wait. So I was just about to say. So my favorite weather condition, hands down, Bandon Dooms, December, freezing cold, super high winds. No, I'm just kidding. No, but honestly though, like I've heard from tons of people, like you have to go in either um like around this time is the best time to
Mhm,
go, or just before winter hits. So like anytime in October
mhm.
um is great. But obviously you're gonna pay more because the weather is a little bit nicer.
Right, right,
But
right, right.
people are like, dude, that's the time you got to go. I mean, if you go anytime inside of October, November, like it's hit or miss.
Mhm,
But ultimately though, it's a Linksy style course. Like that's
mhm.
what I've heard is like, so it's kind of beneficial. You just got to play the wind. Well,
Right, right, and but like the tweet was like, "What would you do if you travel if like you had a golf trip and this was like the day that you were gonna play?" And I was like, "Okay, if I was in that situation realistically, and usually there's what like a 24-hour notice, like, hey, if you want to cancel, you cancel within 24
nah, dude,
hours."
it not Bandon. You're at the resort. Like Bandon
Mm,
is
would you
it's
say?
out in the
What would you say? A week? Would you say what would be like
no,
like
no.
no
I would
no
stick it. I would stick it out. Like you have to. There's nothing. There's
no? I'm saying
literally
what would the cancellation be? 1 week, 2 weeks? What would you say? There has to be a cancellation. Like we're like, sorry, dude, I'm
you
not gonna come.
you
Give
don't.
them time to
I,
resell. Let's just say it's a week.
um. Okay.
Hypothetically, let's say it's a week. I'd be like, yo, it's like 30s all week. There's no way that it's going to jump up to the 50s. 50s is doable. Even high 40s I can do, but
Yeah.
like in the 30s, dude, I'm not. I'm going to have the worst round ever. I'm going to play. I'm going to pay $500 plus not just the
Well,
round, but
no, no,
also
no.
other stuff on top of it. Like,
Your stuff's already paid for. Once you get there, your stuff's paid for because it's all included with the
yeah, but
resort.
then you have
Like
to fly there. You have all those other things that are on top of it. Where I'm just like, I
so,
mean,
so I've heard several stories from people, people that I play with regularly who are like, dude, Bandon is probably one of the best places to go because if the weather is shoddy like that, like
mhm,
they're all about hospitality. And again, I think this is where like the golf industry, going back to what you said, where sometimes like people kind of drop the ball, is
mhm.
like the golf industry is the hospitality industry. Like you're trying to create an experience for people to where they want to come back. The course
Right.
is one thing, right? Like
Mhm.
someone out there is going to shoot 120. Somebody out there is going to probably shoot 70.
Right.
Someone will probably shoot 65.
Mhm.
But it's about the experience when you get there. If you're just going to
Mhm.
see everyone as like a transaction, like people know that, and they know like it's cool, but the course is great. Like the service is okay, but the course is amazing. The course is what brings
Right.
people back. But if you really
Mhm.
want to make your money and drive like drive revenue in your bar, like you got to do things that's like inclusive. I mean,
Right.
if I learned anything in my career of sales as well as my career as consultating, the golf industry was definitely the one that put me through the ringer. The patience you have to have at a country club, the
Mm,
um the open mindedness, as well as like the empathy you have to have for certain people when they're like, yeah, I'm just frustrated with this. It's like there's so many other great things that we're offering, but you really want to focus on this one thing. Like
right, right.
I specifically remember this one member. I will never forget this guy's name. Um, his name's John Vincent. He probably doesn't even know what YouTube is because he's so old. But um, but this guy used to put me through the test every time. Every time we had a member guest, I would get a radio call from somebody saying, "Hey, we need a ruling. John Vincent, needs a ruling on this." And I'd be like, I'd get over there and it's like, John, your ball's in the rough. Well, yeah, but there's a divot. I'm like, it's like 12 feet away, or it's 12 inches away. Yeah, but it obstructs my swing. How do you have that long of a divot line? There's no way, and I like, and then there was one specific time he called me and my head pro Andy Santos, great guy. um he called us out because the group ahead of him was playing music. They were
Oh, God
playing
forbid.
music.
God forbid. Oh no.
Dude, I swear he escalated it to us, and then we just asked the group, hey, can you just turn it down because the guys behind you say it's too loud, and they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. Then he goes and escalates it to our GM, and she's I'm not going to say her name because I know she knows this stuff, but um she was more like fitness based social club, like high end social club kind of background. She was like, "Oh no, like, we can't have speakers out on the course." So I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, you're telling people they can't play music, but yet here at the clubhouse on holes 9, 1, and 3 and 4 tee box, everyone can hear the music that our clubhouse is playing because we want to like create like an ambiance for people when
Hmm.
they're after their rounds to play." And then I said, and on top of that, we have because our clubhouse is like down in the down at the bottom, it echoes. So if someone
Mm,
is slamming doors, if someone's grabbing somebody's clubs, someone calls to somebody, you're interrupting this person. But music out on the course is a problem. Like,
wow.
it was, dude, it was insane. I mean, my patience was really tested at this place, but I learned a lot, you
Hmm.
know. But
But go back to it. What would your favorite weather be to play golf in? For favorite and least favorite.
so least favorite, I would have to say rain, but I've played in rain, and sometimes it's really not that bad because the court you just have the course to yourself.
Mm,
A lot of
yeah.
times, so many people quit, but then all of a
Depends how it
sudden,
is. If it's light, it's not bad. It could just scare a lot of people, and
so
like me.
I've been fortunate to where I've played enough rounds to where it's like maybe 5, 6 holes. It's just pouring. Then all of a sudden
Mhm.
it goes away, and then it becomes a
Right.
beautiful day. You're
Right.
out there by yourself. But then I've also had rounds where it's absolutely dumping, and I just stick it out. I'm like, you know what? I don't have anywhere to be today. I'm just playing, like, I'm just out here having fun. And then what's cool too is like sometimes you finish out the round and you go in and you just go tell them like, hey, I just finished 18, really didn't score my best. And sometimes you'll get like a discount in the pro shop, or even you get half off your round. They'll give you a free meal. Like, you just gotta ask sometimes, like,
Yeah. 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 True.
and just be like, be real about it. Just say, hey, I
Hmm.
didn't have the best experience, and I know that has nothing to do with you guys, but I did spend, $70 to play. Like, can I? Is there any kind of a deal that I can get, like, to have a meal here before I go home? You
Hmm.
know, and sometimes, they'll cut you a little deal. It's like, hey man, thanks for showing up. Like, we
Yeah.
understand you could have just canceled and said screw it, but um yeah, rain is
Favorite.
my favorite would have to be my favorite probably have to be like 70 degrees, slight breeze, nice sunny day with a cooler full of just Coronas. I don't
So
care. I don't.
basically, the Bay Area. Basically, the
Yeah,
Bay Area all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Basically.
Well, Well, I have another question that I just thought of, and I'll go first with this question. But what is the craziest round of golf you've played in weather wise? And like I said, I'll go first really quickly. Um, so let's see here, January. So maybe January 2022, I think, right around there. Like, you know how foggy it gets out here, right? In the valley? Like, it gets thick. So we're playing, and like I said, I always check the weather, right? I'm always checking the weather. I literally texted the guy that I was going with to Riverside the week of. I'm like, hey, I'm checking the weather. It looks like it's gonna be like 80 degrees. It's gonna be a perfect day. I'm like, can't wait. The day comes, it's like 60. Overcast, not no fog or anything, but just overcast. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, like I could do this. Like it's not bad. By by the turn, literally like the 11th hole, no, maybe the 12th hole, you can't see more than 30 yards in front of you. Like I have never played golf in such thick fog in my life. Every time that we were told that every time you're done on the green, you're supposed to yell, "Done, we're good, you're good,"
Oh,
because like you could not see. And the
see.
amount of shots that just looked great right off of the first 30 yards, I'm like, oh, it's a great drive, oh great. Or a par three. I think it was like the one after the second par five, the first par five on the back nine. I think it was like 13. It's like a 200-yard par three against the houses, and I smashed my 6-iron, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should be on the green. Look, went straight. I go right on up. It's right in the short bunker, right in front of the green, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And it was like the trippiest round because also like it turned like 49 degrees. It got cold,
Oh,
and it was cold. It was foggy, but I was like, even though I could die at any point without anyone knowing because a ball's coming my way because we're hitting, and you're also not in a great golf course that all shapes and sizes of golfers are playing. So like you
yeah.
could be great, you could be bad. It was so trippy to me just to play in the fog because it was like, wow, it's cool, but it's also like really eerie. Like anything could happen here. But what about you? What's like the craziest weather that you've experienced when golfing?
So mine is pretty much the same. So a good friend of mine, Hosea, he gets hookups at Half Moon Bay all the time, like all the time. So and we're always the first ones off the tee. So we play at 6:45, 7 a.m. Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
We were playing the Ocean Course, and the Ocean Course is open. It's super linksy, and we played it in, I want to say, getting close to like winter time. So we get out there and I'm driving up and I'm like, damn, this fog is so thick over here on the one. Like I can't even see the road. So I
Hmm. Hmm.
texted Jose and I was like, hey, are we playing still today? He goes, oh yeah, yeah. He's like, I'm already here. And I was like, okay, I'm like 15 minutes down the road. So
Hmm.
we get out there. It's howling wind. It's
Mm.
it's cold because it's morning time,
Yeah.
but that fog stayed the entire time. And I actually had probably one of the best rounds in that weather, I think, to date. So we get to the first hole. The benefit of having such a good round was they have GPSs on the
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
carts, so you know where the layout of the
Yeah,
holes
the
are.
rangefinders don't work, man. They just hit the
No,
fog and it's like
no,
5 yards, 10 yards.
yeah.
It's horrible.
So I was just finding a point. Like I'd be like, okay, where's like the halfway point here? I didn't even
Hmm.
bother taking driver for like the first, actually up until like the seventh hole where it was a par five. But
So boring golf, like we talked about on our last
yeah,
podcast, right? That you got to do to shoot low. That boring golf that
yeah.
you.
So I literally was like
Mhm.
off the tee. They all ripped driver. They can't find their ball. They had no idea where it went. And I'm like, okay, I just need to know that my ball felt good off the face, and I'll kind of have an idea of where it went.
Right.
So I'm playing 3-iron and 4-irons off the tee boxes, and dude, everything was middle of the fairway. All of a sudden I'm looking like, okay, here's the pin. I'm throwing darts, dude. Like I had like I think I was hitting the number every time, and I had maybe four putts outside of 6 feet in the first 9 holes. And like
Wow.
all like Mark, Hosea, and Pastor Bob were like, dude, how are you doing that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just keeping my head down, hitting the ball and playing it to
It
the
helps when
number.
you're not playing on
Yeah.
something, right? You're not
Yeah.
staring at a pin. You're not looking at the undulation of the
Exactly.
green.
No,
You're
you're just
just,
throwing it. Yeah. Just
yep,
picking that
yep.
number. So
That'd be the
I did.
worst time to get a green. That'd be the worst time to get a hole in one. Let me tell you.
So hold on. Let me. So Pasture Bob actually on hole six. It was a 130 yard. No, I'm sorry, 150 yards par three playing playing 130 downwind.
Mm.
He hits a pitching wedge, catches it a bit fat, and he's like that's in the water. I'm like, no, it's gonna be good. And I'm like, go a little bit, and I was like, that's in the hole. Literally, we see it hit, and then you just hear the rattle of like the pin, and he made a hole
No.
one that day in the fog. It was
N-
insane. Yeah,
No way.
yeah, it was so
Oh
cool.
my
It was
gosh.
so cool.
I mean the funny thing is like, okay, that would be awesome, especially if you hear it, right? You hear it
Yeah,
so you know that something happened. Imagine you can't see, like on my round, you literally can't see the green. Someone's just staying on the green, like they yell, "We're done," but it's like, "Oh crap, I forgot my wedge," you know. So like they end up going
yeah.
back and they get their wedge, and then they see like a golf ball on the green, and they're like,
Just throws it in the hole.
yeah, who would know? You know,
Yeah,
like, but
that'd
like you
be
hear a rattle,
hilarious.
obviously it's real. But I mean, like, how awesome would that be? Like, for like your whole life, you're like, yeah, I got a hole in one on 13 at Riverside, and you know,
Yeah,
and then randomly you just are teamed up with this guy. You're like, no way, like, dude, the funniest thing happened like 3 years ago. It was really
yeah,
foggy. You know, I said we were done off the green. I forgot my wedge, so I went back and someone hit a ball on the green, and I actually put it in there and they're like, "Oh
yeah,
my gosh, dude, that was my ball." How
yeah.
crazy would that be?
Yeah, dude, that would be insane. You'd make
Ah,
somebody's day. But no, like that
oh
that
my
was
gosh.
probably that was probably one of the more like tougher environments, but also I played this course called Bodega Bay that's just on the coastline, about 20 minutes west of me. And first time I ever played it, dude, it was howling. Like it was like 40-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, it was insane. And this course is tight with old traditional greens. I think I lost like a whole case of balls. I just couldn't figure out where to hit the ball. I couldn't
Oh
figure out where to start it. It was insane.
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But another question,
Yeah.
like what is what is your one way of when a round is going south, like how do you bring yourself back?
Mm, what around is going south. I feel like no matter what, whatever for whatever reason, the first 2 to 3 holes, I really struggle to shoot even. Like the back nine, for whatever reason, I can turn it around, and I know that that's coming. That like, hey, the back nine for whatever reason, at least since I got back into golf, like around 2020, like that was like it used to always be like my kryptonite, where the back nine, like I would always start great, and like I knew the back nine was coming, I'd just be screwed. Like, I don't know what it was, but now that back nine, like I usually shoot like as close to even as I will if you do the front or back nine. My averages definitely the front nine, whether it's like the warm up holes or whatever, you know, takes me a few holes to get into it, and that's that. It all depends on things. I was just talking to my wife. I'm a glass half full kind of guy with any situation. You know, like no matter what it is, I always try and find the good out of things. And so if it's my driver that I'm not consistent with, okay, well, fortunately I don't play in tight fairways. I'm playing in, you know, decently sized fairways that, hey, if I just aim for the middle, I can go right, I can go left, I should be able to find it. I'm good. My main thing is, well, I feel like my biggest issue would be like maybe putting, because a lot of greens are different, especially if you're not playing in like the really nice greens. You know, where like the putting green is different than the actual round itself.
Yeah.
Those greens are different, and
Hmm.
some of the holes could be inconsistent as well, so they're not all going to feel the same. But I feel like no matter what, I just try and forget about it as quickly as possible. I mean, me and you were pitchers in college, and what do you do as a pitcher? You can't dwell on it. You have to move on.
Flush it. You got to
So
flush
like
it.
so like the only downside that I have, I feel like not when things are going bad, but just in general, like I played Riverside so many times, but there are like the second hole. I don't think I've ever hit the green in regulation on that par three for whatever reason. It's like in my head now where I'm just like I'll be like a yard or two off of it, but I just have not hit the green. But there's a few of
Yeah.
those holes where it's just like in my head where I'm
Yeah.
like, I know I have the
Yeah.
capability, but it's just like that yip.
Yep.
But
Yeah, that hole at Riverside, I don't know if it's just because of the houses in the back or the tree that's on that left side.
mhm.
That hole just I
And
don't
the
know what
raised
it is.
green too, the
Yeah,
resin green. Yeah,
yeah.
it's weird, man.
It just gets in my head too. I mean, that's one that I remember, but for me when rounds start going bad, it's it's primarily because like I'll try if I start off hot with my driver, instead of continuing to play that driver, I'll like try and hit like my 2 iron. I'll try and hit my 3 wood and just try and being a little bit more of like, okay, I just want to place it here and just give myself a full swing into this hole.
Mhm.
Instead of just being like, dude, I've been ripping this thing all day. Like, stay with that confidence. Just keep
Right,
ripping it
right,
up.
right, right, right.
That's where it goes bad for me. And then anything within like 60 or 80 to 60 yards, I tend to try and get too cute with like my wedges, and it pisses me off because I'm like why didn't I just bump a 50 degree? Why didn't I just just chip a 54? Why am I trying to get all fancy and hit like a full 58,
Mhm.
or trying to trap flight a 58 with like a little draw? It's like I know that once that hits the ground, it's gonna suck back like a golf ball through a garden hose. Like, it's I'm like, damn it. Like, I hate when I do that. That's what pisses me off.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, but I just, when people are like, when I really stop caring, and a lot of people that I play golf with can contest to this, is that I'll start putting with my wedge, and it's funny because I'll drain them. I'll
You
drain them.
just yeah.
Yeah, I'll drain them. I'll make putts from like 30 feet, just step up to and just be like, yep, there's a line, just bang it. All of a sudden, it's like, there it goes. And everyone's like, wow.
It's
And
like
I'm like,
freaking tin cup over here, huh?
yeah,
Just like
yeah. Break
I don't
every
even
club in my bag.
yeah.
I just need a 7 iron.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just need a 7 iron.
Oh
I just need a
man.
7 iron. But guys, I think we're going to close it out here. I just want to say again, thank you so much for all the support. We're trying to put out some more content. Um, I actually have a tournament this weekend. It's going to be a two-man best ball. I'll try and get as many clips as I possibly can.
And we're gonna
Uh,
win. We're gonna
yeah,
win.
yeah. Well, like I said,
It better not be that dang handicap stuff again.
it's going to be the handicaps, but like I'm playing with a guy who's an 8, so hopefully
That'll
that
even you
helps
out a
us
little
out.
bit.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then basically as long as he's getting the better scores, then we're good. But yeah, it's going to be tough, and we're playing from the Blues too, so I'm like, oh, damn it. um, but yeah, so guys, again, just thank you for all the support. Like, remember, we're all sold. I'm all sold out of Masters hats. I'm not sure how many more Teats has, but I have a bunch of the gender reveal hats. I still have a bunch of the originals. Please hit
Hmm,
us up.
hmm.
I want to give a special shout out to JJ from Hawaii for ordering every single one of our hats. Huge shout out to you, man. Great. Thank
Ooh,
you so much for the support.
nice.
And yeah,
Heck
man,
yeah.
just make sure to hit us up and hit that subscribe button. We got a lot of great content coming. And guys, like, for everyone who's following us on TikTok, like, if you have a group yourself, you want to get on the podcast and chat with us, like, please, we are welcome to meeting every single one of you guys. Also, if there's certain things
Hmm.
that you guys maybe would like to see, if you guys want us to bring out towels, you know I don't know, I was even looking at like ball markers, um whatever, like, we do have aspirations of getting a shop started. So, let us know
Hmm.
maybe some things that you guys would be interested in seeing from us. We're an open community, so we want to be welcoming to all. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, make sure that we're
Not
bringing
just
out some.
dads, but obviously this. Right, right, right.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
just dads. Obviously, this is for dads podcast, but yeah, of course, of course,
yeah, definitely. I mean,
of
the only
course.
thing that we're missing
But
is
yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to finish that sentence. My wife watches this podcast.
Thank you for your support, Isis. We really
Yeah, yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but uh, yeah, guys, thank you again for watching. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. If you are watching it on Spotify and you enjoy, definitely give us a rating as well. I know that definitely helps us grow and also maybe give recommendations to other people. So thank you guys for checking us out. But we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys.